Well, hello. My name is Sandra Victor, and I'm the regional project manager for East Sweden, employed by the Science Park Mjärdevi. So, welcome to East Sweden, and here I have some real-life stakeholders. They will have the word later on. So, as you can see in the picture, we have East Sweden. It's about 200 kilometers south of Stockholm, and the region here, some short numbers. We have 100% of the public transport is fossil-free. We have about 27,000 students in the region, and almost 500,000 people lives in Östergötland within the region. And you can reach more than half of Sweden's population within 200 kilometers from this area, so it's kind of centered in Sweden. Oh, the south of Sweden, you should say. We have a lot of mix of enterprises. We have high-tech industrial companies like Ericsson, Siemens, and Toyota, but we also have a big variety of small companies within different kind of industries. And if you can see, we go down to Linköping, where we had the case. The city of Linköping, we have about 160 inhabitants, and we have a very ambitious climate goal to become carbon neutral by 2025. And it requires a lot of new solutions, and we have to involve everyone. And a broad implementation of sustainable mobility services is key in achieving this goal, I think. And Linköping is listed as the second bike-friendliest city. Uppsala won this year, but Linköping is second best. And if we can see, we have 28% that bikes and 12% that goes by public transport every day. So this is very fresh number from 2018. And our site for the accelerated market introduction, you can say it's a map maker's site. It's a very cool place where we have the Vallastaden. It's a dense green and varied city district, and Science Park Mjärdevi, world-class innovation hotspot with 7,000 brilliant minds. And Linköping University within the site as well. It is very highly ranked internationally, and it enrolls about 20,000 students. So this is the site. I'll get some deeper. So the Science Park Mjärdevi, we have about 400 companies and 7,000 employees. And I don't know, have you read the IDEO's need definition? Some of you, yeah, some of you. And we call the the ones that we will make the change map makers and explorers, and this place is filled of them. Here we have mostly very technical advanced companies, business to business, and many of them are created as a knockout from Linköping University. And within this science park, we have a network called Sustainable Science Park, and we also work with a sustainable travel plan since 2017. So we are very connected, close connected to the companies to make a change there. And we also have new policy, sustainability policy, connected to the global goals. And we also are about to take a climate code of conduct within the park. So Vallastaden, it's a new district within Linköping. Nearly 1,000 residents have been built by 40 different developers in a record time in only 5 years. So we had this expo last year, or 2 years ago, sorry. And we have different type of ownership within this district, and no two houses are alike, as you can see on the picture. And the district is built around the central themes of social, environmental, and economical sustainability. In every neighborhood, there's a common community hall that acts as a natural meeting spot. Vallastaden is also car-free, And we have a mini mass system ongoing there with cargo bikes, public transport, and carpooling, all connected in same services is provided for the ones who lives there. And then Linköping University. It's about 18,000 students within this area at Campus Valla and about 3,000 employees. And also here we have a lot of map makers and explorers, of course. And this is the neighborhood of Vallastaden and Mjärdevis. It's all connected here. And about this year, we are going to make a sustainable travel plan for this area as well. And you can see the new student house on the platform there. Okay, so now Ebbe Park, it's also an area existing in one part and is developing on another. So now we have about 70 companies here and a lot of construction workers building the new area. And what's upcoming is a 70,000 square meters business area and about 700 apartments. So what do we have for mobility services within this Explorers site? So we have carpool. We're about to have a lean bike. It's a bike sharing function in the city this spring. We also have public transport, but we also want a few things that you can see. Together with the VTI and the university and some of the companies, we are working to get some of the things you can see that once over there. So the autonomous mini vehicle that could provide us for the last mile transportation is needed, as we can see right now. But let me give the floor to some of the stakeholders within this site. And maybe I should begin with Jonas, who is from the municipality.
Yes, I'm Jonas and I'm a traffic planner at the municipality. As Sandra earlier mentioned, Linköping has an ambitious environmental goal that we want to be carbon dioxide neutral by the year 2025. And Linköping is also a growing city, which means that we will need to
develop.
We need to reduce. We need to use the space in the city better, and we can't afford to dedicate more space to car traffic. Instead, in the future, we need to reduce the space for car traffic in favor for pedestrians and cyclists. So we need to reduce the car traffic. And it might not come as a surprise to you, but we see a strong relationship between car traffic and car ownership. So to be able to reach our goals, we realize that we need to reduce car ownership. And mobility as a service could be a very good alternative to the private car. But in Linköping, I think the service needs to be as easy to use and convenient as the private car. For example, it should be as always accessible as the car waiting for you at the parking lot. And it also needs to be easy to use, almost as easy going to your car, unlock it and start the engine. And also the payment method should be very easy and integrated, so you don't need to think of it as little as when you own a car. There are other things that service might not offer, which a private loan car does. For example, the closeness to the vehicle and the individualization of the vehicle. But on the other hand, a service could offer a variety of choices and a more flexible way of traveling than a private car. Yes, thanks.
Thank you. And give the word to Sam Wafai from Östgötatrafiken, one of the mobility service provider. Yeah.
Yes, I'm representing the public transport company in east of Sweden. And Jonas kind of stole my scope, so I had to invent something. Our mission is to provide as good public transport as possible for as many people as possible. And what that means is that we have a development strategy that is sprung out of research and own experience, and it's all about simplify, making our commute stages straighter and faster. And this comes with a lots of challenges. Two of those are that we must have fewer bus stops, and therefore there are longer distances to the bus stops for the commuters. So for that reason, we wish for solutions that can complement and strengthen our traffic, promote sustainable travels. As Jesper said earlier, we don't want lots of cars in the cities. Decreases the level of car usage, of course, and taking care of the customer needs. And by that I mean the needs of travel and not only the travel itself. So you have to address the problems that the customer has in the life puzzles. And also, please remember, the most sustainable travels are those that never happens.
So, here's Predrag, who's the CEO for NIRA, one of the company in the science park. So he represents the employer's perspective on MAS.
Yeah, thank you. Do you read me? Yep, good. As Sandra said, I'm the CEO of NIRA Dynamics. We are a software company in the automotive service. We're really focusing on sustainability. We are located in the Mjärvi Science Park. Our goal is to reduce our footprint from travels, both to and from work and also in business, by 20% per year starting this year. So I think it's a relatively aggressive goal. And she told me I should speak about what is a employer's perspective on MAS, and I think it's really difficult because I think the climate challenge and the cities growing larger kind of drives us towards one thing, and that is we cannot own a car. That's kind of a fact that will happen in the future. So if I don't own a car, there is no car on my driving on my garage, in front of my garage, then then that's the departure point from where we should kind of focus on MAS, or mobility as a service. That is kind of the requirement. I do not have a car, otherwise it's useless. So I tried to. So therefore, it's not just traveling to and from work. It's a leisure time as well. If I don't have a car, I don't have a car. So I asked my employees what do they think? What would make them sell their car and not buy another one? One of them said, "But MAS is already there. It's just a fancy name for public transport." Well, that's kind of a joke, but I think there's something true in it. There are gaps today that we need to fill, but there is also a lot of stuff that's already in place. So I asked them, "Okay, guys, what do you think?" And often popped up higher frequency. If I have to wait more than 10 minutes, I will take the car. If I leave my kids in kindergarten and then have to wait half an hour because I missed the bus, it's a no-go, and then I take the car. We need to ride bikes a lot. We don't really know why we don't. I would say it's 40% of my employees have like 15 to 20 minutes biking to work. They still take the car. So we need to do something there. Flexible carpools are needed. Today, carpooling is very rigid. A lot of rules and not flexible how you can drop off and pick up a car. Car sharing is non-existent in Linköping. That's definitely a potential. Easier payments has been mentioned. One app that rules it all. You can take the bike, then the train, and then the bike again without having to pay separately tickets or apps for every leg of the route. And of course, smarter routes. It cannot be that it takes twice the time to take the bus than it takes to take the car. We have to have flexible routes as well. So what I would like to see is that the innovation kind of departs from the system of today, because a lot of stuff is in place. So what should we do to take it one step further to solve, to kind of implement MAS for real? And I would say, as Greta Thunberg. I don't know if you know her. She's a climate activist, a young girl here in Sweden. We should act as if the house is on fire, not just wait to 2040.
Million thanks. And now Robert Bäckström. You can
Yes.
introduce yourself.
My name is Robert Bäckström. I'm a project leader at Stångåstaden, which is a municipality-owned housing company. And I was a project leader in the Vallastaden. We built 250 apartments there, and I'm now a project leader in Ebbe Park also, where we should build 700 apartments. Stångåstaden has about 19,000 apartments in Linköping, which is a lot in Linköping. And we are building so much more all the time. And our customers, those who lives in our apartments, they have voted Stångåstaden as #1 in Sweden as a housing company for renting housing company. 7 years out of 8, the last 8 years, we have won the first prize 7 times. And that is not because we have focused on the housing and the properties that we own. We have focused on the customers and their lives and their living. And this traveling thing and this community thing and this sustainability thought that we are discussing now is a big part of our customers' thoughts. And so this is so in line what Stångåstaden wants to do. We're not just building and having rent apartments for people. We want to develop Linköping and have a better life for all the people that live in our apartments and in Linköping. And also, as a project leader for producing new apartments, there's this economical thing. And we are now producing so much in the center of Linköping, and these garage spaces, slots, that they cost so much money. So if we can save this money and put it on sustainable mobility instead, that will reduce the rents for the apartments, and it will be good for all of Linköping and probably all of Sweden and the rest of the world. So and I just want people in our apartments, and I think all over Sweden, are comfortable. They want to do it easy, and last time I went to see some of you here in this context, we heard about a project that had tried this mobility as a service in a part of Sweden. And one thing that the customers that have tried the service, they said, "Oh, it was so comfortable." And I think that's the word you should choose. You should look for. It should be easy and comfortable for the customers. Thank you.
So we just wanted to be welcome to co-develop this world's greatest mobility as a service together with us in Linköping, the hotspot center filled with map makers and explorers. Welcome.